everyone, this is Rise Lockridge, and today we're going to be reacting to the Big 3 Unlimited CLEPs by CLEP School. Now, I kind of like this guy. He's a pretty interesting guy. I'm pretty sure he talks in this video about the Big 3, which are Excelsior College, Charter Oak, and Thomas Edison. And yeah, he's going to talk about those, and I'm just going to put my 2 cents into it and kind of my reaction to it. Also, I do kind of apologize for starting off this video with his face like this. That's actually how his video starts. So I'll click play in just a second. If you guys enjoy these videos, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and the link to CLEP College, my ebook, is in the description. So yeah, let's carry on. Yeah, because this is a little bit funny, his face right now. So.
Happy winter solstice and soon to be Christmas for all of you. It'll be something that's a huge benefit to all of you. 3 specific universities that accept any form of credit, CLEP, DSST, or otherwise to their school at any amount are tested and
Okay, so the reason, I just want to point out real quick, the reason why this is so important, okay? So most colleges and universities that I found will accept CLEP and DSST, but they don't accept them unlimited, okay? They will, some of them will accept a lot of it, some of them will accept some CLEPs and DSST exams, but for the most part though, there are very few colleges that will allow you to do pretty much unlimited and just test out through of almost everything, that being Excelsior College, Charter, Oak, and Thomas Edison. And so yeah, he's going to talk some more about that. I just wanted to point out why that's so important.
accredited by the ACE recommended, so the American Council for Education, scores or anything like that, that means that it's available. They're called Charter Oak, Thomas Edison, and Excelsior College. Left links down in the description so you guys can go check those out individually. This is such a big deal. Well, number one, it's going to make your studies a lot easier if you can theoretically just test out of everything. Only ever need the ACE recommended score. You know how sometimes if you look into a university, instead of getting that 50 passing score, they're going to want 70, 60 even. They only want that passing score that the ACE recommends. So that means you get that 50 score, which is about that 70% that we talked about before. So yeah, that's a lot easier to hit 70% of your multiple choice answers as opposed to 80, 90 for the exact same test.
Yeah, I believe, oh, I did not mean to pause on that particular frame. I'll go back a little bit. So, I definitely agree with what he's saying here when he shows this graph, because the passing score for CLEP tests is 50, and that's really good. With Excelsior, Charter Oak, Thomas Edison, and most of the other colleges that I know of, they will accept this, the vast majority of them. And what's really good about this is, just like he said, certain other colleges with their other courses and stuff, they may want you to get a much higher score, but at the end of the day, it's the same credit. It's the same 3 credits, 6 credits, it's the same amount of credit. The difference is, if you go with their course, for example, you're spending much more time, more energy, and more money, and you're still getting the same 3 credits. With a CLEP or DSST test, you're spending significantly less time and less money, even if you have to redo the exam. And what's also good about that is you don't have to waste as much time for the same amount of credit. That's what's really good about CLEP and DSST. And another thing is, with CLEP and DSST, you get more, sometimes you can get more credits. For instance, you see these 3 credits over here, and then there are 6. Some of them have higher. And for instance, the foreign language CLEPs, those are much higher. For instance, one of them, I believe it's Spanish language 2, I believe. You take both in the same exam. That's worth 12 credits. So if you're very good at speaking Spanish, I would highly suggest that you take that as one of your CLEP exams. I'm terrible at Spanish, so I was not able to pass that particular one. But yeah, that's one great thing about CLEP and DSST, that you can get you can get 3 credits. At the very minimum, if you pass, you get 3 credits. And with certain different ones, for instance, social studies here, you can get 6 credits. So that's one great thing about CLEP and DSST. Both of them do this. You can get more credit and you can get it faster, and it's cheaper, and it's easier. It's just great. It's great.
70% that we talked about before. So yeah, that's a lot easier to hit 70% of your multiple choice answers as opposed to 80, 90 for the exact same test. Most universities only accept no more than a year worth of them. Some I've even seen don't accept more than 12, and it's a very specific 12 that they'll accept. NHU is actually also a great school because that was the school I went to. They accepted up to 90 credits, which is about 3 years, and I didn't end up using all of it, but I did use 78 credit hours worth. I actually didn't know about the big three when I started up with my whole CLEPing experience. I wasn't really well researched into CLEP when I first started, but I kind of just developed over time with it.
Yeah, as far as the colleges go, I can definitely understand that he would go to this particular college because it may have been the college that he was more familiar with. But again, as he just said, when he did more research, he did find out that the big three will accept more. Because, as he said, this one will accept 90, which isn't exactly bad at all. But if you wanted to make it even easier for yourself, though, you could get significantly more. In fact, I mentioned this in other videos too, and I also mentioned it in my ebook, CLEP College, as well. That for the most part in college, I was able to get through almost the entire thing with CLEP tests, DSST tests, the majority of it. The only things that I had to do besides that, besides CLEP and DSST, were just a few different other things that were required that I couldn't really test out of with CLEP and DSST. For instance, there were 2 UXL exams I had to deal with, and there was the capstone, and there were a few minor things. But for the most part, the vast majority of my time studying in college was with CLEP and DSST. And it was much, much faster than dealing with the classes, like he said earlier. So, like he said, it would have been great for him if he had found out about the big three earlier. In that way, I would say it definitely pays to do your research. But I just wanted to say, man, you did not do bad with this college at all. You did not do bad at all. I think you still did good. You could have done a little bit better, but hey, if you didn't know, and that's okay. Hopefully for all of you watching, though, you will know. These are the 3 big colleges that will accept pretty much unlimited testing out. Until, of course, I can get to the capstone and stuff. But that is relatively minor compared to the whole rest of the college. Just 2 or 3 extra things you have to do, like the capstone, that is relatively minor compared to the whole rest of the college that you get to test out of. So I just wanted to point that out real quick.
Experience. I wasn't really well researched into CLEP when I first started, but I kind of just developed over time with it. A bit different if I used them instead, but either way, all 4 are really great schools. Looking for a particular degree, may it be doctoral studies or biology, math, history, English, whatever. I've left a link down in the description. There's this guy who basically put together a wide array of which colleges are having degrees in each of those. It's a lot better actually, but yeah, I hope that fixes it. Looking into degree programs, yeah, I would highly recommend looking into those 3. Also, SNHU is a pretty good one to look into. Just try to get a feel for what you're looking for in your degree. Try to get an idea of how you're going to benefit the best and what you want to study. Make sure you pick out what you want to study before anything else, because that's far more important. In addition to that as well, it's not one of those things that you should just go right into it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with him about this. It does. Oh, I'm not going to freeze on that particular frame. It does kind of depend on what degree that you're going for. For instance, for me, with my Bachelor of Science, I was able to test out the vast majority of my college. Depending on which degree that you go with, it could vary a little bit. But still, even if you can't, here's the thing. Even if you cannot test out every single thing up until like the capstone or the few required things, you can still help yourself significantly. You can still save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars even if you can't graduate just with the CLEPs and DSSTs. No matter what, it's still helping you. So that's one thing I wanted to kind of add on to what he was saying just then.
Go right into it, even though I did. I hope you all
Oh goodness, sudden sudden close-up. That was a little bit startling.
enjoyed it. If you did, if you could leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new. Check out my new and updated version of my book. It is still on Amazon. Link is still in the description. It is on all my videos, so if you want to click off to another one and come back, that's fine. I had to update it is purely because the debt has become so bad within this past year. It was at about $1.2 trillion in January when I first wrote the book. It is now at $1.6 trillion.
Yeah, and as far as student, okay, first of all, I just wanted to congratulate this guy on the book that he wrote. Something I wanted to elaborate on a little bit. Yeah, the student loan debt situation in America is just out of control. It's absolutely crazy. And with how expensive just each college credit can be, just going with the university's courses or their classes, and with how long it can take as well, really, CLEP and DSST, it is an amazing shortcut. It really is. Because you're spending less money, less time, you're still getting the same credit, and it's just great. It's really, really good. And and trust me guys, while testing can be a little bit stressful, as I did say in my Nathan Young reaction video, would you rather be stressed out for an hour and a half, 2 hours? Or would you rather get stuck with the student loan debt for the equivalent credit and have to spend significantly longer of a time stressed out and having all sorts of problems with professors that can be absolute jerks? I'm just going to say it like that. I would choose the 1.5 to 2 hours of stress in the testing center, getting CLEP exam done or DSST exam done.
And it hasn't even been a full 12 months.
Okay, so that's pretty much where his video ends when he's talking about college. So yeah, I do agree with him for sure that Excelsior, Charter Oak, and Thomas Edison, they're definitely the best because you can get significantly more credits and you can almost get through the entirety of college just by testing out. And it's faster, cheaper, takes much less time. It is, in the long run, less stressful. Okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because, like I said earlier, you may get stressed out for an hour and a half, 2 hours when you're taking the test. But going through the classes themselves, dealing with the professors who can be a royal pain sometimes, dealing with all these assignments and essays that you have to do, and the really strict deadlines they're going to have, all the problems that can happen when you're going to the actual college taking the courses. And it's expensive, time-consuming, stressful, takes a while, and you're getting the same amount of credit. There's really no reason not to at least give CLEP and DSST a try. And if you're going to give CLEP and DSST a try, definitely go with one of these three: Excelsior, Charter, Oak, or Thomas Edison. So yeah, I definitely agree with the CLEP school guy here, Mason, about this. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video. Also consider subscribing. The link to my ebook, CLEP College, is in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.